actually recording this, though. Hi, good night, and welcome to the Bench Start Cricket Podcast. As you can see, we'll be operating at 50% capacity today. Staff, we have 50% staff today. Some contract negotiations going on behind the scenes, stuff like that. My name is Akeem Nero, and I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Mr. Clint St. Hill, and Mr. Damien Reed.
Good night.
How the guys doing, man? On the socials, I saw the guys at the Oval taking in some cricket. So, how's the atmosphere now that Test cricket's back? We had some T20 not too long ago, but how is it to have Test cricket back?
Happy to be at the Oval. It was pretty much a spectacle. Walking into the Oval, seeing all the cars, all the tourists, everybody. There was a bit of a buzz in the atmosphere. I would say, obviously, the game ended in a draw, but I would say that the pitch probably left quite a bit to be desired. I don't think it was a great cricket wicket on the whole, so I don't know, that kind of affected the excitement in the game itself. But yeah, good to have cricket back at the Oval. Always good to have the English. They were singing all day. And yeah, I can't think about a better team to play against here in Bridgetown, Barbados. So yeah, it's good as you're gonna get, taking everything into consideration.
Okay, and you wouldn't have happened to met anyone famous over the weekend. I saw you with Ralph Ragnick, Manchester United manager.
Yeah. By chance.
Okay.
He happened to be at the game while it was there. We were in the same area, so very fortunate that to meet him. So although you're a grown man, sometimes you see a superstar or somebody that you just see on television. Like, what are the odds? That he'll be there, a German. So, they not really affiliated with cricket. So that was actually pretty good as well too. So I felt like a kid again seeing Ralph, to be honest.
What about you, Reedy? Mr. Call a spade a spade?
One, it was good. It was a good feeling. It was a good feeling to have cricket back at the Oval. You go to cricket games, you go to international games rather. Well, rather it's national, regional, whatever the case may be, but there's nothing like a England versus West Indies with the English supporters coming down. The atmosphere, the vibe, the buzz is just always a cut above any other opponent. I was in a small fishing community, so I only had the Barmy Army around me. I wasn't in those sort of upscale areas like Clint, right?
Whoa.
But all in all, I think a lot was, I think, but the pitch was I don't know what word to use. A lot is left to be desired. A lot of questions have to be answered. But all in all, I'm still glad that we had cricket, we had fans, and we had a good time.
And before we get off the point on the pitch, I was on a guy named Andrew Mason's show on Sunday. Okay, and Jamal Smith, he called in. No, Andrew called him, and he tried to shoot the groundsman some bill. So his analysis was, there were plenty. There was the T20 series, and there was the two first class games here, and obviously putting on the cover and on and off the sun, etc. Basically killed the grass of the wicket or any life in the wicket. So theoretically he's correct, but still my thing was the Test series should have been priority. I don't know how the guys.
I saw something today saying that one of the first class games was played on that same wicket or something like that.
Yeah,
here or see that?
Yeah, no. The first class game, from what I speaking under correction, but The first class game against Lewis was played on that wicket, and it had on a lot of grass actually. So I'm not certain where it would have gone. I think a lot of people were very surprised actually when they got there. To not have a blade of grass on it was pretty much a shocker for me. But you see, this is a whole other topic, and it's something that I am very passionate about, and I continue to say it's been neglected. We don't we don't pay enough attention to pitch preparation in the Caribbean. I always say that it is a science. Yeah, you're dealing with soil, you're dealing with different grasses, you're dealing with water content, you're dealing with lots of different things. It is a science. So you put in X amount of those things to get out a particular pitch. I feel sometimes I'm not saying this is what happened at the Oval, but this is just a larger issue I'm speaking about. I feel a lot of the time these just bat and roll a pitch and whatever come out. As opposed to saying, can I go to the average groundsman around the Caribbean and say, listen, I want something that fast and bouncy, or I want something that can be good for the first 3 days and then spin the last. Like I don't know that we could go around the Caribbean and request those types of things. I just feel like we prepare pitches and what happened. That's just me, and I think we need to spend cricket West needs to spend more time on groundsman, not groundsman, but more so curator education in terms of again basically be able to do that. All right, I don't know the cost of dropping pitches and stuff like that. That may be a totally different cost that may be beyond cricket West Indies, but that's maybe something you may have to look at going forward if it's feasible from a financial perspective.
That's fair. That's fair. But let's moving on slightly. We just had the conclusion of the second test match in Barbados. We had England scoring 507 for 9 declared and 185 for 6 declared. West Indies 411 and they hang on for 135 for 5. What are you guys' thoughts on this second test match? You can start
Where do
reading.
you could go first, man? Yeah.
Um, it's not a loss. We still got a chance now to win the series because it's still locked in the law. But to me, my major was it? Even though there was some sort of improvement on his end, my major issue, for lack of a better word, or problem was the spending the first innings, at least the first innings. Again, it's called a spade a spade. He only has much runs. He only has much runs in the first inning of this test. But for me personally, I would like it to be more economical, for lack of a better word. I saw. I went the second day and I saw Stokes beating this man like it was. I don't know. I can't
About
get
the
it explained.
HL.
About the That's a perfect analogy there. That's a perfect analogy there, Clay. So for me, that was my major disappointment. But I don't. Words can't describe Kraigg Brathwaite, boy. That's true. Words can't describe his performance in this test match. I remember it was their trio or something so Clay that you mentioned in the chat that he was in the field the whole day. He was
Yeah,
practically.
yeah,
It was only for
yeah.
that
Not
short.
practically, yeah.
It was short
I,
only for that
I,
short
I,
stick.
Actually, at the end of the test match, Craig only spent 20 overs off the field. So in five days
Which
of
was
cricket,
probably
yeah, it's when the period when he got out.
when he got out exactly.
Uh,
That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
I would say that he was on the field
That is
for the rest
ridiculous.
of the test. It's just
I,
crazy.
That's
I
not
don't.
normal at all,
That's
bro.
not
And
normal.
and and he,
Yeah,
and he look tired. He like he could go and back
Exactly. I
he
would
he
like to
come back
see.
to Tuesday.
I would
some of
He
the
like to
come
guys
see
back
in
to
the
him.
chat,
Tuesday.
some of the guys in cricket chat was like, when the feed Craig on a bat this morning, like it just looked like Craig. You know what I'm saying? So it
I would like to see him. The yo-yo test that guy is doing. He probably eat that up. The man listen up like he had more energy. He could have given more. If he had a day
Yeah,
six, he could have backed. He could have backed Monday.
yeah.
That was incredible. I've never. And it was following cricket from as long as I know myself. I've never seen I see Charlotte Paul start off a battle. I see even overseas players. But I've never seen anything like that. So kudos to you, Craig. What Fetty here tonight, but Fetty guy, the guy again. You may not be my favorite player, but I can't discredit you if you perform. But for me, no, do that on a more regular basis, buddy. Everything though, we got to be one
And
bam
this is
bam tight
Blackwood.
team.
And this is
Yeah, this is
Blackwood.
Blackwood speaking about.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, this is Blackwood. Everything though got to be one bam tight team. You play cricket, play red ball cricket in white clothes, not pretty color clothes and a white ball. So how he played in this second test, I don't want 100 everything go to back, buddy. But even if you score 20, don't be it that you're getting. Let him get good ball or you don't throw it. You don't have for lack of a better word.
I
Um,
like from the Blackwood. The thing about the innings from Blackwood is like it shows that he's capable. But my thing
correct
with
his
some of these
word.
guys is like, why only when your bat is against the wall or you think that your play's on the line that you could pull out, you could show some sort of responsibility. You understand? So now that we know that he has the capability to do it, I hope that he understands this is the blueprint. That he can be not relax for another two series and then when you think you're on the chopping block again, then you back it down again
Look
square
style like
one.
this again.
You
Exactly.
understand? This
That's
should
not
be
what
the
we want. We
standard.
want
This should be
football
the standard.
consist. Agreed. So that was it for me, basically. The major disappointment, and we talk about it like show first open, is the wicket. We need as I say, I don't know. Get me curators in a we got camps before tour, all kind of thing.
So
Get
a
me
question though.
curators
So a
or
question.
school or something. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Question. There was a theory floating around that the administrators could have wanted a flat wicket for the 5 days of
Well,
the cricket for the
that
English. What says the guys?
you
Or
never
just
know,
think that
boy. You never know. That's a
that was just a
possibility.
theory.
Only God knows. It's
I
a
would
theory,
not
but
put that
there's
past.
some
I would not.
exactly.
I would not put that past. It doesn't sound. It doesn't sound like it's the craziest thing I've ever heard. But I mean, I still think that you could create a good cricket wicket and get 5 days of cricket, or at least close to 5 days. Even if a team wins by lunchtime on the last day, or by tea
Mm.
time on the last day, I mean, you can never get time those things to perfection if you're a groundsman. That is up to the players at any day still.
Not to
But
cut you, Clay.
yeah,
Not to cut you, but that doesn't highlight the lack of quality spinners from both sides. Because I believe any
uh
spinner worth their salt. Because even Leach was getting some purchase on the end of day 3 or 4, and
Mhm.
Lawrence was getting ball to do something. So I believe any spinner worth their salt on that wicket would probably pull out a result for either team.
possibly you put a Rob Ashwin into that side there.
Deja.
I don't want to call Shane Warren, but because I mean Shane Warren is Shane Warren, but
Mm.
yeah, like you said, some balls actually started to misbehave. Day 4, day 5. I actually was messaging in the chat saying that as well too. That a draw is not a foregone conclusion here.
Yeah.
The wicket had a lot of variable bounce, and I was saying that from, like I said, from day 4. So yeah, like you said, I mean, I don't think that a lot of people said Jolly bowled poorly. I don't know that he bowled poorly. I just didn't think that he is. Jack Leach was at his ceiling, more or less.
Yeah.
That's Jack
Yeah.
Leach. So it's not that he bowled a lot of bad balls.
He's never going to be that
He
type of spinner, though. He's never going to
yeah,
be.
he's
He's
not
never
Exactly.
going to
a
be
match
that
winner.
type of spinner. Yeah.
I don't want to call him Ash. He's like an Ashley Giles kind of thing. Ashley Giles may win a couple
He's like a
games for
poor
you,
man's
but
version to Jadeja.
yeah, correct. So
Yeah.
so
He's like a poor man's
he's not
version
going
of
to
Jadeja.
win a game. I don't
Yeah.
A
expect he's
one
going
or
to win a
something.
game for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
Correct.
what I mean. So yeah, like really said, the pitch obviously had a lot to do with with the result. Um, I thought that we did relatively well to hang on there in the end. Yes, I know people will say big T, any decent side, to bat 60 overs or how much ever overs we had to bat during last day should be a walk in the park. But you lose some early wickets there. West Indies, we've all seen West Indies crumble from those positions. We were 57 for 3 or something like that, 47 for 3 at one point. we've seen West Indies do that. But kudos to the skipper. Um, Fantastic test match, probably his best test match. I don't want to say probably ever, but it's definitely out there for
Today,
certain.
looks like today.
Yeah, it's definitely out there. I mean, it's unfortunate it didn't result in a victory for West Indies, but complete test match. A lot of talk about Kraigg and second innings runs as well too. So for him to back up what he did in the first innings, in his second innings with with the team with the bats against, well, you always felt like once Kraigg was there, everything was going to be fine. And that's what you want from your opening bat. That's what you want from your captain. That's what you want from when you're leading batters and you say to add that kind of safety and security. So very, very well played to him. I am sure he made the region proud with his efforts there. Well done to Blackwood as well. As you guys have discussed, Blackwood had his was on chopping block, as you say, and for him to respond in the way that he did, I thought that was commendable. When we blame people when we think that they want blame, so we gotta praise them when they do good things. So well done, and like you all said, we need some consistency from Blackwood. No, Blackwood is probably 30 years old now, so is at this age and stage of his career that he should be kicking on and turning out these performances a little bit more consistently. Not much to talk about from a bowling perspective. It was tough going for all the bowlers in the game. I would say both sides. So just looking forward to a better cricket wicket in the third test. I didn't see the pitch in Grenada, but I
I see
heard that
some green.
it
I see
has some
some
grass.
grass.
I heard
Yeah.
it has some grass on it. So um, but yeah, like from all reports, it's probably still going to be pretty good for batting too. So we'll see. We'll see how the teams go with some combinations. I think that there were some force changes. Well, there might be a force change on the West Indies end, and and England. I think I don't know. Did England confirm for sure that Fisher is out, or that's
They
just
make up for it.
yeah, but yeah, more. I think Overton may very well come back in for Fisher. So yeah, it should be interesting to see the combinations that both teams go with based on if this wicket in Grenada.
Yeah. Just to add not much you could add to what Craig produced over the weekend. About 673 balls. We got probably some men that probably ain't back in their careers yet. And the ease in which he did it, great mental fortitude, great concentration levels. Oh my, the physical aspect. Cause Craig ain't a big fella and cut up, but you gotta be so fit to
Correct.
do that. And he did
Correct.
at no point he looked tired, well composed, and as captain, he led from the front. But for me, I think it was day four. It was okay from the outside. It was clear that West Indies was playing for a draw. All right, but for me, the easiest way to achieve that draw was to get as close as possible to the 507. But it's funny West Indies went the route of batting, trying to bat as much time as possible.
Time.
Time, you understand? So, and it still took a Herculean effort by Craig for West Indies to quote unquote still be hanging on. You understand? So if West Indies applied more batsmanship, they would probably got into the 490, 500. Because West Indies, England did what they did in 150 overs. West Indies made 411 in 187 overs. You understand? So if West Indies just
So,
added, mm,
but this goes back, Nero, to what you unable to discuss. Can't remember if it's today or yesterday.
yes, yeah, what is it?
I think that the combination. I would have said this from the first test. Calmeers is a very important man in West Indies batting lineup. Yes, I know that he probably went off the ball a little bit there in last couple of games, last couple of test games. But for me, there's always room for that type of player. Every team,
Team.
every
Oh,
successful team right now
Correct.
has players that can take the game away from the opposition. You
Yep.
look at India, Rishabh Pant has the license to do that. Jadeja can do that. Shreyas Iyer well, we know him for his T20 exploits. He's a man that bats pretty quickly. They have players that can do
Rizwan,
that. Rizwan for Pakistan. Um, Australia has the guy Cameron Green, Travis Head. Those guys taking the attack down in the middle to opposition bowlers. That's one, right? Secondly, Jack Leach had, because if you look at who England were turning to as their biggest threat, is Jack
or
Leach. Jack Leach bowled most overs in the game. He bowled at bare right-handers. Apart from John
95,
Campbell,
95
yeah,
overs.
yeah, right. So apart from John Campbell, that's the only left-hander that was in top six. If I remember right, top actually
Is anybody else?
top.
Uh,
The only boy is
Tony
what is it?
Seals.
It's Seals,
Seals.
exactly. Yeah,
So
Seals.
so all the way down, you just pulling out right-handers. Um, Me personally, in terms, I don't know, well, I can't you jump again a little bit, but in terms of the selection for this next game, me personally, I'm bringing Calmiers. One, because the left-handed, and two, because the way that he plays. And I'm giving him the license not to battle Richard Patton, but to battle Calmiers. Calmiers is a positive player, and you need somebody that to transfer some pressure back
Back on the
onto the
opposition.
opposition. All of those batters, right-handed or left-handed, all those batters there are conservative players. Bert's
Yeah.
conservative, Kraigg, Bonner. You can't
And you
have
make up in
all
the
of them
team, you
and
only you got make up most good teams. You have about two of those guys. You have
yeah,
you have two of those guys, and then you have the class player
a
Cody
man
and
that could
those
do
guys.
both sides, yeah.
You understand? And then you have those guys. But I find we have Bonner and Craig. I have no problem with those two.
Right.
Obviously, now Sil is turning into probably be that type of player as well. But I
Correct.
find some of the
Right.
other guys, even Jason with like 19 balls, and like I have no problem with you being more secure or more defensive in a situation. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
these guys are good enough to you can play a defensive
Yeah.
stroke for one, you can learn a
Yeah.
ball for two, make the kit.
Yeah.
England
Not
got
block
67
everything.
men on
You
the
can
back.
still play high percentage cricket and score.
Correct. So I just think we
Yeah.
went into the shell so early, and it was just block. It wasn't nothing else. And
Yeah.
I mean they're not used to the advantage that these guys know ball probably near 200 overs in the first day, 187 overs in the first innings, England, and we ain't use that to our advantage. These
Right.
guys gonna be running around the field, you understand? Pushing for two, pushing for three at home. But no, we just let the guys running bull, relax, turn. Johnny Bairstow up on the back with the helmet. He may bring in a suck up man. Like I just think,
Yeah.
and I honestly believe right now England has the momentum going into the third test. Because if you look at it, West Indies were holding on. Basically, yes, in the end, by 5 wickets or whatever. And first test was Jason and Bonner quite easily, and the second test was just now with Silver and Craig. But
Yeah.
that's a heroic batting for Bonner in the first inning, and heroic batting for Craig in the second innings. So
Yeah,
I just want to see some more positive attitude.
probably a slight advantage to England
Yeah,
as you say, but yeah, still, I mean, I don't think all is lost. Just probably it's a slight mentality shift, from a batting perspective there. Just being a little bit more positive. Craig, you said Craig is Craig, Bonner is Bonner. The two of them,
correct.
I don't want to say perfected what they're doing, but they're pretty good at what they do. Is for the
After
Shamar
you said
Brooks
that,
and
I throw a question to the cricket chat. Like, pick a top seven of the best guys that could defend the wicket.
right.
And Bonner Craig was in there. Bonner
This in
Craig,
West
yeah,
Indies
Pujara.
or
Or
world. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have
Yeah. Yeah.
Bonner
Yeah.
Craig, Pujara, those are guys, Vahari, Elgar,
Yeah.
those type of guys at the
Yeah.
back.
Gutsy. Yeah. 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 For sure.
My
Agreed.
next question to the guys though, it came out of the microscope, depends on who you listen to. What do you guys thought with tactics from both captains?
For me, I think, and I've seen us do this for a little while now, especially when spin is on, and I don't know if it is a lack of trust in our spinners, but sometimes I think that we go a little bit defensive too early. So Sometimes I might see a long on and long off in place for a draw root. And root not gonna, yeah, not saying root can't hit a six or he's not
He had a
interested in
deep
doing
square
that,
like
but
early out too.
yeah,
He had
I
two
don't mind
men
the
down
deep.
there early. There was
I
two
don't
though.
mind the deep. Right,
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind the deep square for Joe Root because Joe Root gonna sweep for sure. No
Mm-hmm.
two ways about it. So if he sweep and he nail it, then if it's hopefully it's one don't a deep square. I don't mind that. I don't really mind that for Root. I'm more concerned about sweepers and long on and long off so early. You don't really see big bowlers bowling with their fields so early, to be honest. Or normal, what you call normal batters. If it's a Richard Pant that batting, then cool, no problem. You know you set by your man because you know that Pant will play one way. But Joe Root and Lee's the other opener. You got to build some pressure on them, and your spinners got to be good enough that they don't need that. It's Test cricket. Ain't want this. Let him mind. If he mind hit you over there twice, then cool. And I've seen England do a similar thing to Kraigg. I think in the first test, Kraigg hit Jack Leach back over his head for six and Root sand back long on straight away. I just like, why? Like, I want to see Kraigg do that again. All right, let me see Kraigg. I don't know, kind of still using feet and trying to hit the ball down the ground still. Like, I just found that it was a little bit too defensive. I saw something that West Indies is doing and they've been doing for a little while too. Changing, well, it happened, I think, from the last test. Changing that slip cordon. Slip is a very,
Oh
very serious
Lord,
position.
sorry in there.
And I say this all the time. Slip is not a position to mess around in. Your best slipper needs to be at slip at all times. Full stop. That's not a position to mess about in. So that's just something that I wanted to make mention of as well. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, promote opening bowling in the second innings there this test here too. I didn't quite understand that. I'm sure they obviously had their reasons. I don't know if the fast bowlers were a little bit tired as well too. So you never really know or have all the answers. But I just found that to be a little bit strange. I probably would have gone with Seals and Jason if anything.
All right,
Uh,
ready?
for me, it is not only these two captains. This is cricket around the world. I just feel that sometimes captains just be too, what's the word? Not laid back, but like as Clint said, even when the first test when Craig hit we had Leach, you see as soon as somebody get hit over the head, you saying about somebody get dragged through the covers. Let happen this test cricket, this ain't what ball cricket where you gotta like defend runs. Yes, you don't want men scoring at 4 runs or over test cricket either. But for me, I just think captains just be too reactive is not the word I'm looking for. Too I don't know where I can't the word that coming to my head right now, but
It's
as
a
soon as
bit
the
it's a
ball
bit
get
of
hit,
that
Yeah, better.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
no, it's a bit
reactive.
of that. It's a bit of that. Yeah,
Yeah, reactive to what
but,
happened. Yeah,
but
following the ball.
yeah,
yeah.
I guess following the ball for you. And I just find that as I said, not only these two captains, but captains around the world gotta be a little more aggressive, especially in test cricket. But that new for me, that surprising. There's always said that regardless of and we bringing it back home to our captain, or regardless of whoever it is, they always say this body too laid back, this body too reactive, this body too late. So ain't that new? Like true, ain't that new for me?
For me, Nero is a little hard. I mean, yeah, there are a couple of things that we probably could have tried. Um, I don't know, probably after in some of their sessions, come aboard wicket to wicket and set, I don't know, 5 men in the leg side or something like that. Or maybe bowl with a ring field in the offside. We could have done things along the lines. But on that pitch, ain't like you could go with no bumper plans because in the pace in the
Exactly.
wicket, you already with a spinner there that me personally, I don't know is international quality. So you can't really rely on he Azari, as we know, ain't the most consistent bowler we've ever seen either. So I don't want you basically two bowlers down more or less there, I just asking Jason and Seals and Roach to just do the heavy lifting there. So I won't be too critical about our tactics. Yes, there's always a little bit more that you could do, but I won't be overly critical with the tactics from a USC's point of view. And I reckon England tried. England, I saw for me. I don't know about you, but I saw England trying quite a bit. Spain ball. I would have bowled the guy Lawrence a little bit more and probably a little bit
Yeah, me
earlier.
too.
Actually, I made mention of that.
He looks like an
Okay.
impact player though. He's a
Yeah,
guy
he
that
is.
he looks. He
He
want to
is.
make the game. In the field, he can do something with the bat. Obviously, he played in both innings,
Yeah,
and with the ball, he looked like one of those characters. Like a,
yeah. I would.
I don't want to say Stokes, but like
You know, I get
that
you.
type of
Yeah,
player.
yeah. My
Yeah,
Max saying, yeah. I actually made mention that I can't remember who was sitting next to at the game and my then bull and got what he named out Blackwood with
Blackwood.
a with a brother brain freeze there. So yeah, that's the only thing that I really could think back about. England tried things. They both short balls. They came back and both straight. At Kraigg and then the next morning, and so yeah, I can't really say a whole lot about the tactics.
And before we move on to the third test, I just have some names, sir. I just want to get from you guys if they've been satisfied with the performance of these players thus far in the series. I'm gonna start off with John Campbell.
Not
No
enough.
comment.
One good innings, and yeah, the other three have been disappointing.
You have Shamar Brooks.
You need to step up to the plate, man. You need to step up to the plate. For
Yeah,
He missed a prime opportunity when he was not out on the two.
two, correct,
Day two, he
correct,
came back
correct,
day
correct,
three.
correct.
When he
That
yeah,
came
was
back
that was
day
his
three,
time to
prime
shine.
opportunity
yeah,
there, boy. Lord.
That
yeah.
was his time to
That
shine.
And then
it,
second
it
innings, a
that
little shot as well. Off of Mahmood,
yeah.
second innings.
You got to
So,
score 100. That 39,
correct.
however, you got to convert
You
that.
got
Got
to,
on that
you
pitch. On that
got to,
pitch, got to convert that.
and so for somebody with that sort of talent too.
Yeah, got to convert that.
Vasami Pamal.
Click something up.
Not good enough for me.
Not his national standard. Reasonably.
A lot of people saying man Pamal got 5 wickets in the game and blah blah. And
Last.
say yeah he did, but look at the
Context.
context
Context.
in which he got the
Exactly.
wickets.
Correct.
Pamal take in nobody hand or anything like
No, he
that.
did
Pamal
not.
going through nobody gate or carrying nobody to slip or anything like that. So the context of the wickets is the issue for me. I just don't. There are lots of things about Pamal that I just feel at international level is just pretty ordinary. So yeah, I guess we would get to that a little bit later when we speak on Blue Terror Test. But yeah, he's been subpar for me.
Zari Joseph.
Same, subpar.
So far.
But we knew these things before
Yeah.
Well,
selection, so it
facts,
wasn't
facts.
surprising.
The thing about Azari,
Fact.
Azari never lacks the effort, but it's just the
No,
It's
quality,
true.
the
he gonna he
execution.
gonna run it,
He's
It
but
never,
but yeah,
all the
yeah,
time.
the
He's
yeah,
execution
running.
is like, I just can't put my finger on it. It's the execution. I don't know if the captain is batty and set too he feels too aggressive and he ends up leaking so much run.
no,
I don't know. Nothing don't work. Nothing don't
can't blame
work.
any of the captains that he's played under because
Correct. So
there's no two captains he's played under, and we gain the same results. Azai cannot group 4 balls in the same area. He's incapable of doing that. Azai can bowl a 4 ball almost every over, and that's not good
that's
enough for
true.
test standards.
We agree. And finally, Jason Holder.
Underwhelming with the bat for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On both counts.
The first innings, that
Well,
dismissal was
The
well,
pitches are
just
too
majority.
hard
okay.
for him to bowl.
Exactly. That's what I say.
Two tough pitches to bowl on, so I not there ain't really a lot to say from a
Correct.
bowling
That's
perspective.
what
And
I
he
was
bowled
going
a
to
lot
correct
of middles.
myself.
Yeah, he bowled a lot
Yeah.
of middles in the first test and stuff like that too. So I generally been bowling in good areas, but batting wise, a bit
You're looking for
of a
more financial
letdown.
joke.
Yeah, at this age and stage of his career, you won't be able to depending on Jason. You won't know that. Yeah, down there, Jason runs more often than not. So yeah, he's been on the run, and I think he would admit that as well too. So hopefully steps up for the third test.
Okay. All right, moving on to the third test. Third test starts tomorrow in Grenada. They announced the team probably about 2 days ago. It was an unchanged team at first,
Squad.
unchanged
Hmm.
squad at first, and then we had rumors, and they were confirmed today that Akil Hussein could be a late replacement for Sami Famo because of his finger. I remember he got hit on his finger from a piercer in the first innings. We continued to bat. So I guess he's only know he probably really feeling it. So any changes the guys making
But
and for whom?
he's a part of the squad for sure because I
The squad was
swear.
unchanged. The squad was unchanged.
But right, but I mean, like
You mean Hussein
Hussein, yeah. Because I see,
is report is
I see
reported,
these
but
things, but I can't remember where I
Right.
see a
It's
fella on
reported. I
social
didn't know.
media
I only saw it this
but
evening.
I
Phil
only saw
Simmons
that
said
from I didn't see. Go ahead.
He's not a part of the squad. He's there for like how they had O'Shane Thomas and or Ben
Right.
McCoy travel. That's like for development or something. But again, that's
This
social media. I
Hussein.
hear that. Yeah, this Hussein. I saw that on
Mm.
social media. I'm sure if it's facts, because social media. Once you have a
Uh,
creditable source, this can depend on it.
I
But
saw I saw Rice Pereira. I saw the thing that I saw today was from Rice Pereira though. So I don't know, and I didn't see Hussein here in Barbados. So that thing about him moving with the squad sounds a little funny because I don't remember seeing him here at any
I
point,
don't
but
know.
could have could have missed it. But for me, if Pamal obviously has a niggle, then definitely Hussein in. I thought that, but I've said rather that Hussein is for me the best spinner in Caribbean, any format. So and I not to say that Hussein can play and get 70 wickets, but I just personally think he's the best spinner in the region. So
and I can see you balling
yeah,
in the ball later evening. He get that
it's
extra
possible.
dimension.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
is possible. I think he bowls the right pace. He spins the ball a little bit more than the other spinners that we have as well. So um yeah, I actually think it may be a slight upgrade and a little blessing in disgrace. Not that you ever want to hear that somebody's injured, but it's also good that you can have a replacement that's equally as good or even better. So, yeah, I that if he's injured, then that's what it is, and Hussein 100% should play. And like I said before, my other change will be Carl Mears, and I will bring him in at the expense of Azari Joseph. I already mentioned why I think that Carl Mears should have been in. Brooks, I mean, Ramon Riffer is not his side, but if he was, then Brooks touch and go 50-50. I can see arguments why he should get another test, but I don't think that he will be able to have too many complaints if the selectors decide to give him a rest for the third test. But obviously, Ramon is not his side, so Brooks more than likely will keep his play and needs to come up with something good because yeah, there's some guys breathing down his net for a middle order spot. So yeah, two changes, one force and one tactical. That's me for the third test. And then obviously from England, I heard that Overton is backing for
For
Fisher.
sure.
So that's
Yeah.
just a rumor, but I guess um, probably going for a little extra pace and aggression and batting ability as well too. So
You going with the same two as well, really, or you bring
Yeah.
you unleashing Anderson Phillips like Clint wanted to do a couple weeks ago.
Nah. If it's a any changes, if Hussein is in and around the setup, I would get him there for this last test for sure. Injury or not to promote, I would give him a run. And for the same, Kyle for Alzari. I kind of still give a little 5 star in between there and Brett somebody extra one you gotta know. So that'd be my two changes. I'll stick with the same Baja lineup coming down from the top. This will be last hurrah for Brooks gotta do something here on to stop the claim. You guys know how I feel about John Campbell. He should be there, but he there, so he got open. And somehow I feel that he can give me a little 60 something and blam. All right, and that's that series. You know that's Kraigg opening part again. Somehow. I just feel that's what going happen. But then we made two changes. Kyle for Alzari and Hussein for Vasari Kamal.
And finally, you gotta call it. You got to call it. Who is the final test match? The decisive test match.
1-0
Question, boy.
to the West Indies in Grenada. Late drama on day 5. I think Jason Water has a part to play. You heard it here first.
Jason
You
Clark,
heard
got a
it
message for
here
you.
first.
I see that way he's laughing at. Well, he got to play for Troop, so let me hope that he produces the goods. But for me, I would give us the edge. I would give you the nod to 1-0 to West Indies in this series. What say you, Miro? What say you, Miro?
That's a 3-match series. Finish level.
You went for
Ever?
Australia, Pakistan.
I think we get a result this one for sure.
I hope it's so. But I believe if there's a result, it can be in our favor.
I can go against my gut. Nah. This match gonna draw with some rain to interruptions.
You always calling about rain though. You did geography at school.
Rain.
Shoot, every time you bring rain into equations.
This game gonna draw with some rain. Yeah. 0-0. Yeah, series draw. That's my call. You heard it here first. I was about
Who's the
to
money
end
match?
Who's the money match?
Yeah.
Kraigg Brathwaite again, brother.
Again,
Until
okay.
he makes money series. I call
You
Kraigg.
did say that.
So Kraigg has probably scored another 100 and then money series.
Okay.
I was about to end the show, but the producers wanted me to talk about Australia. So, saying that Usman Khawaja is currently the best batsman in the Australian team. Steve Smith is bumped down to number 3 in the Australian team. Usman Khawaja is carrying the Australian batting on his back.
Oh god.
Steve Smith hasn't scored 100. He hasn't scored 100 in over a year.
And no one's talking.
2 years. 102 2 years plus, but nobody checking. Well, you know how you cookie crumbles. Man. But right now, going into day 4, Australia lead by 134 runs. Really, guys, see this test match going.
Pakistan is still hold on for a draw, man.
Pass Australia. That's I know. 134 lead.
You can get what with 200 and they make us just 300 here. Pakistan is just 300 for these wickets here.
And the ball of Pakistan in the
Pakistan
the last game too.
Yeah, but what's the chance Australia against Skiplow here?
What is the chances?
No, I ain't saying that happening either.
But it's still going to get enough time to bowl up.
But I ain't saying the ball of Pakistan.
Yeah, but I obviously for me, I think the plan for Australia gonna be to bat to probably an hour after tea, just after. An hour after tea. So play it safe. Pakistan got match runners both there. So you can't go
and they bowling very well right now. They bowl very well just now.
Right. So, but Australia still needs to put the game.
You got my Grenadian link there. Man. Red, man. Come on, man. Told you.
Yeah. You got to put the game beyond Pakistan's reach if you're in the Australia camp. So yeah, they're gonna be looking to probably score. I don't know. 200 runs or so on day 4. That extends the lead to beyond 3 whatever.
That's not enough.
Yeah.
They know what Pakistan capable of. Babar and Rizwan. They're fear.
Yeah, but
they're fearful. They're fearful.
Well, you might probably gotta go to 4. But I personally, if I am coaching in that Australia in the Australia camp, we batting normal. We buy him normal to lunchtime. We see where we at. We then probably back to then tea. Have another look, and then that hour, like I said, that hour after tea, you could determine if you got enough or how much longer you need to go or whatever the case may be. Because like you said, Pakistan bowling well, you ain't batting against your little cousin in the backyard, so you're batting against man that could bowl, that could really bowl. So yeah, gonna be interesting to see. I think therefore gonna really give us a good indication as to who gonna win this test match. All important therefore.
No draw.
Yeah,
That's what I see too. I can see Australia going no Pakistan too.
Pakistan had a serious collapse today. So Pakistan kind of, we know Pakistan has the ability to do those things, but they also have the ability to do the brilliant as well too. So yeah, it is touch and go. I would say it's a good test match gearing up.
Okay, and that brings us to the end of the show. Tonight was my moderating debut. It was alright. It was okay. And hopefully the guys
did a good job, yeah.
Hopefully contracts are sorted and we have the full cast back next week.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's breaking news contract extensions between calling RJs. Yeah,
so about Sunday evening, wait see y'all.
Exactly.
Interesting.
What says you, Nero?
Yeah, no, first go on casual days. Yeah. He had election. He had this and that. He's only March.
He's been missing a lot, Nero.
Yeah, man. And I mean Miami.
I'm not me.
I'm not here.
That one back.
Okay. Good night and thanks for watching the show. Like, click, and subscribe. Get out of here.